Kia ora, good morning. I've been awake for a few minutes. I'm about to get some breakfast, but I just needed to quickly document this dream I had. It was just a quick dream, but it means something somewhere. So I dreamt I was watching from a third person point of view, like I can't even explain it. There were all these airplanes. They were American Air Force planes flying in the air. There were about 10 of them. And they were doing this training exercise, but it was like a leap of faith, test of faith exercise where the bottom of the plane opened up mid-flight and the people inside them had to jump out. But even though they had like parachutes on their backs, they were to try and rely on this rope that was wrapped around their waist, that when it uncoiled to a certain point they were to hold on really tight and then come into land with the plane and let go at just the right time, that their feet would touch the ground and they'd land, and then the plane would fly off. So the plane wouldn't actually land. They had to jump out of the plane, wait for the rope to uncoil, and then grab on at just the right time so that they were swinging from this rope, and that the plane had to come into land at just the right time so that their feet would touch the ground and they could let go of the rope and they'd be on the ground. But they had a parachute in case anything went wrong. And when the planes were going up, I was absolutely terrified because my sister was on the plane. She was one of the ones that was on the plane, but I wasn't in the plane, I wasn't on the plane, I wasn't flying the plane. It's like I was watching from a third party perspective as like a ghost. Like I was the air or flying beside them invisibly. And it was definitely American Air Force. And they had these ropes were like big fat ones that they had wrapped around their waist. And I was terrified for them because I thought, oh my God, my sister's, she's going to fall to her death. I was absolutely terrified. My heart was in my throat. But everyone jumped out. And I was watching them do it all perfectly. She did it perfectly. She came into land. And then I was walking towards her. But everyone was clapping and cheering for me because I was like the highest rank there. I don't know what the highest rank in the American Air Force is, but let's just say it's like brigadier. I was like the brigadier, and I was in kind of camouflage. It was like blue and black camouflage uniform, and I walked through the fence of the Air Force gates, and I was walking just like, like how you do in the military, left, right, hello, that sort of thing. And people were clapping and cheering for me. And I was like I wasn't interested. I just wanted to get to my sister because I was so incredibly proud of my sister. But it was like, oh my God, your sister's Debbie, sort of thing. Like, that's your sister, they were saying to Erin. That's your sister? And I'm thinking, like, bugger off and let me get to my sister. Like, I was just so proud of her. that I wanted to just like run up to her and put my arms around her and stuff like that, but obviously because there was protocols. And so I was trying to be my highest ranking badass self, but at the same time let my sister know how proud I was that she passed this leap of faith test. Because that's what it was. They had parachutes on, but it was a leap of faith. How much did you trust your commander? How much do you trust your training? Like that sort of thing. And she nailed it. And I was so proud of her. And I woke up and I'm thinking, what the hell was that all about? Because Rocio is American Air Force. And I've got the American Air Force flying over my head because they're stationed just up the road. And I keep thinking about the dream I had with the prophecy puzzle and Vladimir Putin dressed up in uniform. I think it might have been army. And me say, am I about to get justice? Are the American Air Force about to pay me a ton of money so I can get to my sister and retire my sister and make my dreams come true with my sister? Am I going to America because I've done something? Have I done something that's impressed the Americans in regards to what I did to bring justice, like, because I'm taking Rocio down, because she's the one who lied to Trump and said I was a threat to national security. I've done something, and I don't know what I've done, but it involves the American Air Force. And it's brought an end to something that was dangerous where people were expected to take a leap of faith with me. And I was celebrated because of it. So I've done something. I don't know why I keep thinking that Rocio was that TiaDarlin Paper Doll Productions. The fact that I was like the ear or watching everything like I was like in the ethers as a spirit or something will have something to do with watching behind the veil, watching behind the shadows, watching from a third party perspective, which that's spy base for the Air Force and that's just up the road from me. They're the ones I tried to get that Anita Johnson, when I got locked up, to reach out to say, can you contact them and let them know that Rocio hacked my phone, not realising at the time that they were all in on it, including her, and that they would have been well aware of what was going on because they were watching. It's always bothered me that she would have wasted hundreds of millions of American taxpayer dollars on a lie because she lied to them, because she faked evidence, because she faked stuff to try and make out like I was a threat to national security, AIing my voice, having the help from people like Musk and stuff, which is why in the dream I was there with my sister the whole time, but she couldn't see me because it's like I was the air. It's like I was the sky. But everyone was clapping and cheering me and rushing me and trying to get to me and clapping and cheering and stuff, but I just wanted to get to my sister. I just wanted to throw my arms around her and just hug her because I was so unbelievably proud. Well, see, the thing is, my son is in the British Air Force and he he's the spit in my sister. I just got a message from my sister when I woke up where she was talking about Duran Duran and she heard the song Save a Prayer. She's like, oh my God, I got emotional because I was thinking about you and I wish we were closer. So obviously at the time I was having that dream, she was thinking about me because of that Save a Prayer song. Save it till the morning after, no, don't save a prayer for, or say a prayer for me now. Which when you think about it, with her jumping out of a plane and taking a leap of faith, if that's the song she was listening to when I was dreaming, that's pretty funny. But I can't understand why everybody there was clapping and cheering for me and saying, oh my God, that's your sister, to Erin. They were saying to Erin, that's your sister. And the reason why I'm saying about TiaDarlin and that is because she's the one that stole my sister's identity. When the Dear Satan Claus, my movie The Dear Satan Claus, got stolen. And I was just saying about how, what, is God going to drop my man from the air to land in my lap? A plane and the Air Force and getting news and me being celebrated, me being seen and celebrated for something I've done where people were required to take a leap of faith that pays off in such a way that people turned out to clap and cheer it. That's the bit I don't understand. I've done something in regards to, if it's the American Air Force, either Rocio or this bullshit with Iran, because Starmer flies the planes right over my head. My sister with the Say a Prayer, they're British, a British band. So have I done something that's going to end this war in Iran, or finally hold Rocio accountable for the lies she told that would have cost the taxpayer millions? Because my sister was a victim to what Chris did as well. So she was caught up in this whole thing. She was the one that threatened the doctors when I was locked up to give me my phone back because she was getting the lawyers involved. So they were forced to give me my phone back. So because she took a leap of faith with me, is she about to get the rewards of my perseverance and training? Because I said that she'd be getting some of the compensation money because she still has PTSD over what they did to me. I'm the one that has to calm her down, and I'm the one that went through it all. Her and I have been through hell together because of Chris and Rocio and Martin and that. So am I about to get news of justice, that Rocio's been held accountable, that they're all being held accountable? And I'll finally get to get my sister. And what, are we going to America? Did I end this war in Iran or something? I've done something that pays off for Americans. It's something that Americans are going to be proud of. My teacher always said that the Americans would welcome me with open arms. Now, if I get rid of Trump and I end this war in Iran and there's no more fuel crisis because I've exposed everyone for the lies and the fakery and the fact that it was all staged and the fact that they were all coming after the king, because Chris and Martin and Rocio and everybody else that did that to me exposed the king for a bioweapons attack, bioterrorism attack. So they should all be charged with high treason. Chris, who's British, who's Scottish, put our king in danger. by doing what they did. It's only because of being in my protective bubble that I was able to save the king and warn the king, because they were hell-bent on trying to kill me. If they had killed me, I wouldn't have figured any of this out. I wouldn't have figured out about the COVID plot and how COVID is every pandemic we've had since the plague. And that they've been trying to get at the royal family like pretty much that whole time. And then I keep thinking about my opera. And even though the countries relating to that opera have nothing to do with anything and it is 100% a made-up story, there's always truth, some truth in what I write. And The Girl Who Saved Two Kings is about a lower kingdom who lied to higher kingdoms in order to start a war between the two so that the lower kingdom could take over the other kingdoms. And that sounds like Donald Trump. And that sounds like King Charles, and would it be the king of Iran or Russia, or because technically Vladimir Putin is the rightful king to Russia. And none of that story is real. But I can't help but wonder why Vladimir Putin jumped in the water, why he was in that dream. And why I was looking down over France and blah, blah, blah. And it's got something to do with Donald Trump and all the people helping him try and pull off killing the king like they did with the queen with a fake pandemic so that they could kill the bloodlines, vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. Create a lockdown in order to pull off this fake fuel crisis with Iran so they could blame it on Iran. Well, the reason why you're paying $1 gajillion for gas is because of Iran, blame Iran, when the whole thing's been orchestrated for years that they would start a war with Iran to create this fuel crisis at the same time as having another pandemic, the Hunter virus this time, so they'd have an excuse to lock everyone down and create 15-minute cities and stuff, which is why I will never, ever, 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 ever go near Switzerland. Switzerland, as far as I'm concerned, like that piece of paper's burned and turned to ash, I will have nothing to do with Switzerland. I thought they were one of the good guys. And they're absolutely not. So Switzerland is out. I will never consider Switzerland ever again. I think I was only supposed to focus on Switzerland long enough to create the stuff that I was meant to create out of it. But I think at this point, it looks like God's opening the door for me to go to America. And someone's dropping in my lap. Someone is going to land in a plane or has something to do with the Air Force or American Air Force, or someone is about to be dropped in my lap that's about to change my life forever. And remember, I had that message from God ages ago. I'll put a link in the description box where he said when the archangel lands, he brings news of law and order or something, and then everything changes. So am I about to hear from the American Air Force to say Rocio's been arrested, she's been caught out, she's been this, she's been that, or I don't know, but I need to document it because this is big. This is big. Whatever's happened, it's big. And someone's about to drop in my lap. It'll be so funny if it's the man I end up marrying, eh? Because that's what I said. What, God, is he going to drop in my lap? Is he going to fall through the sky? Next minute. And so I think I may possibly be going to America. And the reason why the people were clapping and cheering for me, like, oh my God, that's your sister, Erin, Debbie's your sister, is because I've either done something that has, well, saved America, done something to save America. Because the only way I would ever be getting into America is if Trump and Musk are gone. And if everything I've just uncovered is true, the President of the United States, with the help of Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Zuckerberg and von der Leyen and all the rest of them, were planning on assassinating the king by getting him to drink something related to the Hunter virus. And in my prophecy puzzle dream, I exposed something I did in the past is going to be pulled up, and that once the word spread, I'd go to bed, because my teacher said I'd go to bed at night, and when I woke up in the morning, my life would never be the same again. The whole world would know my name, and I'd never ever be able to walk down the street again, which is what happened in my dream. When people saw me walking through the gate to go to my sister, because my heart was just pounding with so much love and pride for my sister, and people were clapping and cheering and trying to swarm me, but I just wanted to get to my sister. So whatever it is I've done it. It's already happened. I've already done it. And it's almost like now I need to wait for the news that it's finally over, and I can get my sister, and she can come live with me in America, and my nephews. It also reminds me of that dream I had, and it will be on X. I'm just too lazy to find it. I just don't care at this point. I'm just so sick of having to defend myself and prove my innocence that God is real and that He's got everyone's back, and proving it by taking down all the demons and stuff. So I've lost interest, but it is there on X, because I was talking about how I was flying on the wings of an eagle, and when it came into land, no, I was flying on the wings of an eagle, and he tipped me off and I fell through the air, and all these First Nations men on horses were riding on their horses really fast, and they were blowing these darts through the bamboo or whatever it was to try and catch me, and they opened up this big massive flag to catch me, but they wanted to catch me because they wanted to make me their wife. And when they caught me and I landed on the ground, the eagle turned into a man in a blue Air Force uniform. It is all there. It was on my Instagram, but that's been taken down now, but it is there on my X. Because I was talking about the darts and stuff. So I think I'm going to America. And there's something to do with the Air Force. And Rocio was Air Force. And the Air Force spy base and that is just up the road from me. So now I just have to wait for news, I guess. Something's happened. I've done something and something has happened. And the military are proud of me and the people are proud of me. They respected my rank. They knew that my rank was not above the law, but above the military. Like, it was bigger than the highest rank. Like, something I'd done was bigger than anything the highest rank could do, or something like that. They were just like, oh my God. And clapping and cheering and celebrating. and jumping up and down, and, you know, that sort of thing where if they had managed to get hold of me because I was trying to move past the gathering crowds fast enough that I could slip through them and get to my sister, because I just wanted to throw my arms around my sister because I was so proud of her, that if they had caught me, they would have wave surfed me. That's how it felt. So we'll see what happens, but I've done something, and I need to get ready for the outcome. My teacher said that I would never be able to walk down the street again. I'd always need protection and bodyguards and that from that point on. She said, don't ever walk with your... And this was long before I'd even come to the UK as well, I might add. So Chris and I weren't even a thing. I think we just started talking to each other. My marriage was just coming to an end, that sort of thing. And she said, don't ever walk in public with your boys. She said, and if you're going to push the baby in the stroller, make sure that she has protection. Make sure you have bodyguards. But she said, don't ever walk in public with your boys. So she knew I was going to have 2 boys. But she said, and when you're pushing the stroller, when you're out with the baby in the stroller, she said, make sure that you have the bodyguards. And she said, it's not that people are going to want to steal your baby or hurt your baby. She said, it's because everyone's going to want a piece of... She said, they'll they'll want some of your hair. They'll try and cut your hair and cut your clothes. And that, she said, because you're going to be seen as something like holy. And I was like, what the hell's the crazy lady talking about? Because I didn't even believe in God at the time. She goes, you're chosen. She said, you've been chosen. You're the one from the prophecy, she said. You're the one that's going to help heal people and bring the 4 corners of the globe together to help birth the new world. She rang all her friends and had a big conference about it and racked up an 80 quid phone bill. I found her. I found the chosen one. And they all wanted to talk to me, and I got put through so many tests it wasn't funny. And I passed my Judas test. I passed it within 3 days. So, yeah, whatever's coming, I've done something. And I always said that to thank America for having my back when I was starting my career and giving me my radio show and stuff like that. To thank them, I'd get rid of Donald Trump for them. And Keir Starmer. To thank the British taxpayers for looking after me while I recovered from years of torture and abuse. And God's taking the 2 of them down together, along with von der Leyen. So if I'm right, then it would make sense as to why they all go down together, because he said he was lining them all up to take them down together. And high treason is something that in most countries you can still get the death penalty for. And these people have killed millions of people. Millions and millions of people. On my X, my feed is just full of people that have died from cancers really young, sudden deaths and that of people since 2020. The death toll is in the millions, and they did it to hide the assassination of the royal family. They've killed millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people to hide the fact that they killed the Queen and now they're after the King. Both him and Vladdy got cancer, by the way. But I think Vladdy's fine now. So if everything I've gone through, everything I've done to expose Trump and Starmer and von der Leyen and that protects those two kings and protects Russia and Ukraine and, stops the war and stops the war in Iran and, tears it all down so that we can build it all back up again, then so be it. God's small price to pay, other than the fact I lost my boys over it, but whatever it is I've done, I'm about to find out what it is I've done. And it's protected two kings and holding everyone who did it responsible. I'm just curious now. So I'm going to go and get a coffee and have my breakfast. But now I'm curious and I need to brace myself and wait for news. Something to do with the Air Force. Someone from the Air Force. Someone on a military plane. I think possibly. Someone on a plane, but either connected to... Because I almost called this Air Force One, so it could be a presidential plane, Air Force One, military plane, Air Force, military Air Force, presidential Air Force, I don't know. But I think I'm about to get a visit to say, you got your justice. You were right. Because that's what I said in my prophecy puzzle dream. People would be like, oh my God, she was right. Oh my God, I can't believe she was right. She was right. God's real. So now I'll just wait and see. Wait and see. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.